maybe change your goals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just, because I'm a writer, I guess it's just that,
You're
that
what?
label. Because I'm a writer, labels and words have, you know, they have an essence that is livable for me.
Sure.
Anyway. So forgive me if I'm
Bill,
being
you look like
retentive
you've
about
been
it.
ready to say something for the last 10 minutes.
That's true. It's a good observation.
Say it.
Very good observation. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'd like to trade chairs with you for a moment.
Okay.
That was it. No.
You know, some of you guys are moving around and I'm the blind guy and you're killing me.
So,
I keep looking to where somebody is and I'm teasing Bill, so, okay.
yeah. So, I think it'd be useful to attempt to describe, at least from my perspective, what's unique about growing the infinite game of regional metamorphosis. And it is not an easy thing to get your head around, because it's a couple levels of abstraction above what all organizations are formed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is a way of looking at it. So what I'm suggesting here is that the regional metamorphosis journey, and I see it as an unending journey, but I like the 2020 as a goal. I mean, as a milestone point. It's far enough away that, you know, all sorts of things can happen. I think all sorts of things can happen in the next 2 years, and will, big time. But, and what I learned when I was in New Zealand and met with a woman in, where was that, Littleton, I learned about the power of community building, and I've known about the power of community building, but I just saw what she was able to do in that community without a lot of high-tech stuff, without a lot of money. And what community building is about is growing relationships, improving the relationships, especially across boundaries between people and entities that are interdependent. And of course, everything is. And growing the quality of agreements that people have with each other and with nature, and really raising to a higher purpose. So it's, you know, it's about who we are and what we're about and what is our relationship and what is our responsibility. So a lot can happen pretty quickly because the existing structures keep us in silos, they keep us apart, and the way we've designed our government has resulted in, you know, increasing polarity as just a way of, you know, a central part of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
So when you build community, what you're doing is you're melting those kinds of polarities. And so there's a natural energy release, and it's something that you can make happen pretty quickly. And it very quickly gets to a point where it's generative. It feeds on itself and grows. Like I think I know what I told you about the example that they used in Littleton. Very, very simple idea. They had what they call a time bank. And if you had a particular gift, you could offer it. And if you spent time in helping somebody or something where they have drawn from your account, it builds your account. And so you just keep track of the amount of time that you spend in meeting someone else's needs. And so it's a different kind of currency. But what it produced is people connecting with each other in a way that helps each other, and it grows naturally because it's fun to help. Mm-hmm. And once you get used to it, it's fun being helped. Mm-hmm. Takes some getting used to for most of us, especially men. But so anyway, that's just an example of community building. There's a fair amount of that going on, and it's increasing rapidly. Mm-hmm. The other piece of it is what I call systemic capacity building. So the premise here is that our existing social systems, our organizations, our communities, our cities, our governments, education, all of these things for the most part, badly designed with real, I think, fatal flaws. And the changing of a system is not something that happens real easily. It's something where you need to engage, a critical mass, requisite variety of leadership, and they need to get to the point where they're conscious of the consequences of their actions, conscious of their choices, get to the point where they care, where they give a rat's ass about it, okay? And where they are committed to do something about it. Those are three distinct, different, and important steps. And then finally, when you get to that point, okay, are you willing to build the capacity in your system to be this different entity? So this is fairly sophisticated work, this one. If you remember the ABC model, A work, B work, C work, it's generative B and C work. Essentially, all organizations are designed to do A work. And then now we're cutting down the number of resources that are available to do A work, so they even have less and less time to do B work, or to hire people to do it for them. Okay. So this is the big nut to crack here. The community building is going to grow naturally, and it's happening in a lot of communities. But we're looking for a strategy here that has us grow leadership to accelerate the rate at which these both grow, to raise the quality in terms of moving toward increasing generativity versus a more mechanistic problem-solving approach, and to increase the overlap. If you build community systems change, it's a lot easier. If you have systems change to support community building, it's going to happen a lot easier. So ideally, you get that overlap. So going back to the scouting team and the beam team, we're wanting to tell a story that makes the challenge of growing both of these, but particularly the systemic capacity building, makes it accessible to people who are responsible in systems or who are practitioners that can support change in systems. That's a pretty narrow slice of the cultural creatives. But those are who we're looking for. People who very quickly say, oh, that's what you're going for. I want to be a part of that, because most of the folks who have been attempting this have been, damaged pretty severely by the immune systems they live in. And so the idea of creating a context, a larger game, where diverse leaders are supporting this happening, that then gives permission for people to begin to be not only come out, but actually feel challenged by their peers to come out. So we're looking for who are the people who can help grow all of this. Who are the folks who have the kind of passion for this sort of change that, the Steve Jobs and the Bill Gates, et cetera, had in the area of technology? We want to find those people. And fortunately, in the Valley, you have a lot of people who have spent a lot of time in systems, a lot of experience with change, a lot of experience with organizations, a lot of connections, who have succeeded in their A-work jobs. And they're looking for something larger. We need to create a context in what we do in all four of these areas that makes it attractive to pull them in. We don't want to just have a conversation where we're talking about that. We want them here. So what will get them here? What's the story that will get them here? It's a very small number of people that we're looking for at this point. We're not trying to to influence a large population, but we do need to get the meme to the point that the people that we want to reach are able to tell the story to the people who influence them. In other words, if you think of levels of understanding around anything that's complex, you can have a know I don't know. You can have a listening level understanding where you nod your head at the right time. But a speaking level, that's a little bit harder. You kind of have to dance with it for quite a while and have a lot of experience to speak of it. Then your working level, you're actually able to use it. Well, we need to get the story to the point where it's fairly easy for others who want to play this game to tell the story, to have that speaking level understanding. Okay.
Do you think we need a bio break? People can sit
I
for a
think
couple
so.
of hours and we